Okay, and we're back with part 2 of the interview with Tiger. How you doing, Tiger? Good. So what happened when the 3 men came that night when you were camping in the woods?
Well, when we heard the footsteps coming from the shadows, we thought it was the guide because we thought he came back with food. But it was actually 3 men with guns slung around them. Dad immediately stood up and started talking to the men in a language I couldn't understand. I instantly grabbed for my fish, but they were acting like they needed food. But in a later encounter with them, I found out that they weren't looking for food. They were checking for something else. But anyways, when the guide came back, the youngest man's facial expression changed. He said that he knew the guide's family and that they died by a missile hitting their house. But the guide said that he was still alive, but the man said he would have known because he knew the family very well.
You mentioned that you had an encounter with the men before in the woods. Please tell me more about that encounter with the 3 men.
Well, we started to trek down the mountain when we saw a man outlined in black with a gun, and immediately my dad pushed me to the ground and started yelling, "Get down! Get down!" And the men were practically on top of us, so I ran into a bush and scrunched up my body and hid there. Then a bird scared me, so I ran into a nearby cave and hid there. Then I started to listen. 3 men that came from the outside. They seemed like they were arguing about something. Then I recognized them as the men we encountered in the woods looking for food. But it looked like they already had food with all the goat skins on the ground. Then, the man I called Stocky pulled out his gun and shot the youngest man in the hip. He staggered out of the cave. Then the remaining 2 men left, and I realized that this was my chance. So I moved off the ledge and fell into the ground. But my legs wouldn't work. Then I heard a shout. I bolted out of the cave and was wondering where I would run. I heard voices down the path, and I decided to jump into the mud because they could just shoot me on the spot. I waited the men out until they left. Then I shot out of the water and finally met up with Mom, Dad, and the guide.
Did you have any emotions when your legs crumpled and the fish's water got destroyed?
Yes, I am very guilty of myself for doing this because after that, we put the fish onto a cooking tray. But then I fell again, and I had to stick the fish into my mouth. When we reached the border, I had to borrow the guard's water bottle.
Thank you for your time, Tiger, and good luck if you have any more refugee adventures. Nice job, buddy.